Hello everyone, Mr. Cole here for today's edition of Pointless, and this edition is Pointless Teachers and Pupils. For those of you not familiar with the game of Pointless, the idea is to come up with an answer that the fewest other people would know. So for each of the questions, 100 people has been asked to give their answers. If you give the answer that the fewest other people have got, your score will be the lowest, and the best score of all is a pointless answer, which will be worth 0 points. The idea is to keep your score as low as possible. As part of this, I've asked some of the teachers to take part in today's Pointless Teachers and Pupils edition. We've got Mr. Gooding, Mrs. Thornley, Miss Howes, Mrs. Bloys, and Miss Edelston, all taking part in Pointless Teachers and Pupils today. They will be giving their answers throughout this game show, and you will be in competition against them. Can you be more pointless than the teachers today? To play the game, you will need a pen and a piece of paper to jot down your answers. Now, to play properly, you will not be allowed to look the words up in a dictionary. However, if you know that's something you're going to really struggle with, then by all means you can use one. But if you want to play in the same way that the teachers did, all they had was a pen and a piece of paper, and they weren't allowed to look any of the words up. Because if you spell any words incorrectly, then your score will be the maximum of 100 points for that round. So you don't want to be doing that, because you need to keep your score as low as possible. Okay, so on to the first round. Prefixes. You know those letters that you put at the start of words? Prefixes. They change the meaning of the word. Now, this is a bit of revision to your spelling work that Mrs. Harris has set you recently. And the first prefix is tele. So tele. I'll give you a clue. If you're really struggling to think of a tele word, you can use one to look at the stars in the sky. It might not be the best answer, but if you're really stuck, that is a word that you could use. So now, have a think, pause the video now, jot it down. If you want to play properly, then you shouldn't use a dictionary to check whether you spelt it correctly, because the spelling does have to be correct. But if you want to play with a dictionary, that is fine too. When the teachers played, they did not have access to a dictionary. So get your tele word written down, decide what it is, make sure it's spelt correctly. I wonder whether you've got a pointless answer.
It's right. Okay, down it goes. Subtle knife taking us down through the 40s, through the 30s, into the 20s, into the teens, into single figures. Look at that, 5.
I wonder if your score will be as low as that. Okay, have a look at these words. So if you came up with the word television, you've got 82 points. And then we can see telephone is 77, telescope 53, teletext 31, telegram 23, telegraph 21, teleport is 11, telecommunications 7, telephoto is 3, teleconference is 1, telepathy is 1, and then we've got telekinesis and telemetry are both pointless answers. Now, if you've got something else and it's not derived from one of those words, it may well be a pointless answer. So, for example, if you have the word telephoto lens, unfortunately, that would count as telephoto. So that wouldn't count as a separate word. Or if you have got, say, telegrams and you've added an S on the end, that counts as telegram. Let's see how the teachers got on. Mrs. Thornley, she came up with teleport, 11 points. Mr. Gooding, telepathy, 1 point. Miss Howes got telecommunication, that's 7 points. Mrs. Bloys got telemetry, 0 points. And Miss Edelston got telekinesis as well, which is 0 points. So Mrs. Bloys and Miss Edelston both got pointless answers. Well done to them for being pointless in this round. Let's go on to our next question. So this round is looking at silent letters in words. Words that when you pronounce them, you don't hear the letters that are in them. So Words containing a silent B. Now, if you're really stuck and you're struggling for an idea, I'll give you a hint. Might not necessarily be the best answer, but it will be an answer that will get you a score on the board. You have 4 fingers and a... what else do you have? 4 fingers and a... begins with a T. I wonder if you can work out what I mean by that one. So, pause the video. Jot down your answer. And let's find out how we got on.
It's right. Very well done, Charlotte. I have a feeling it's going to go a long way down. And it does!
Did you come up with a pointless answer? Let's find out. Okay, so we've got climb, 63, lamb, 62, crumb, 59, bomb, 50, thumb, 39, that was my clue, wasn't it, thumb, dumb, 36, tomb, 35, plum, 31, numb, 29, doubt, 19, limb, 12, womb, 8, debt is 7, subtle and comb are both pointless answers. Now, anything else that's not derived from those words that isn't on the board would also be a pointless answer. Now, just to remind you again, when I say derived from those words, so for example, the word bomb, if you had bombing or climb, climbing or climber, those would be derived from that word. So they would count, if you had climber or climbing, it would count as 63 points. If you have spelt your word incorrectly, remember though, that doesn't count and you will score the maximum points, which is 100. You don't want that to happen. Let's find out how the teachers got on. So Mrs. Thornley had the word tomb and she got 35. Mr. Gooding had numb and that was 29, as did Miss Howes, also came up with the word numb, 29, and Mrs. Blois had crumb, which was a massive 59 points, oh dear, and Miss Edelson, somewhat unbelievably, came up with comb, which is 0 points. Now, that is a pointless answer, somewhat surprisingly, but Miss Edelson came up with it, and it is down as 0 points. So well done to Miss Edelson for being pointless in that round. Remember, the teachers didn't have dictionaries, they just had to say what their words were. On to the next round. Letter string, so groups of letters in words. So we're looking for words that contain the letter string A-U-G-H, often down as augh or augh, I would say, the two main common ones there of pronunciation for those. So my hint for you today is sons and what word would have that A-U-G-H in? Again, might not be the best answer, but it will get you one to get started. So pause the video now, have a think. Let's find out how we got on.
He's right. Very well done.
And here we go. So here are the words and the scores for those that are on the board here. So we've got court, 76. We've got taught, 71. Laugh, 62. Daughter, 51. That was my clue. Naughty, 43. Laughter, 41. Slaughter, 24. Naught, 10. Onslaught, 7. Draft, 3. Haughty is 0. Distraught is 0. And anything else not derived from those words would also be a pointless answer. Don't forget though, if you've got something like laughing or laughter, that would count as 62 as well, because it comes from the word laugh. So there's some good answers on there. I wonder how you got on. Let's find out about the teachers. Okay, Mrs. Thornley had the word distraught. This is a pointless answer. Well done, Mrs. Thornley. Mr. Gooding came with draft, 3. Miss Howes also had distraught, another pointless answer. Mrs. Blois had draft, again, which is 3 points. And Miss Edelston had slaughter, which was 24. So well done to Mrs. Thornley and Miss Howes for being pointless in that round. On to the final round. Suffixes, those letters that you add onto words at the end to change the meaning. So we are looking for words with the suffix shun. Now, bit of a clue, these are quite often people's jobs. So for example, someone who does maths is a m. And think about it, that shun on the end of the word. So pause the video here, decide on your shun word, make sure it's spelt correctly, and then we'll check our answers in a moment. Here we go.
Well, it's right. The subtle knife took us down to 5. The ruby in the smoke down to 3. The shadow in the north still going down. Down it goes, still going. You done it!
Did you come up with a pointless answer? Let's find out. So we've got musician, 52, magician, 45, electrician, 35, optician, 29, politician was 19. If you had my one, mathematician, that's 15, beautician, 7, technician, 1, and physician and paediatrician are both pointless answers. Don't forget, if you've got something different and it's not derived from those words, you will get a pointless answer if it's spelt correctly. If not, you score 100. I wonder which teacher did the best in that round. Let's have a look. So Mrs. Thornley had technician. Mr. Gooding came up with paediatrician. Miss Howes, physician. Mrs. Bloys, technician. And Miss Eddleston had physician. And you can see they all did incredibly well that time, with Mrs. Thornley and Mrs. Bloys both getting 1 single point, and Mr. Gooding, Miss Howes and Miss Eddleston all getting pointless answers. So well done to them. So add up your score now. Add up your 4 totals that you got. The maximum you could have got is 400 if you gave 4 incorrect answers. The best you could have is 0 if you got 4 pointless answers. I wonder how you did. Did you beat the teachers? Well, let's have a look at their totals now. So our final scores are in. In reverse order, Mrs. Bloys got a very respectable 63 points. Every single answer she gave was correct, all less than 100. So 63 points on another day would have been enough to win. In next position, in 4th position, Mrs. Thornley with 47 points. Then we've got Miss Howes with 36 points. Runner-up today was Mr. Gooding with 33 points. But huge congratulations to Miss Eddleston for scoring 24 points and becoming a pointless teacher. Well done, Miss Eddleston, for being our pointless champion. You are the most pointless teacher of all. Is there anyone at home who is more pointless than any of the teachers here today? Thank you for watching. I hope you've had good fun. Let me know your scores. See you next time, Year 6.